Self-reliance is the ultimate form of power. It is the foundation upon which true confidence and personal strength are built. When you learn to rely on yourself, you take control of your own life and destiny. It means understanding that no external source, no person, no situation, no outcome has the ability to define your worth or dictate your happiness. Your power comes from within. In a world that often encourages dependence on others, whether it's for validation, approval, or guidance, self-reliance is a radical act of independence. It's the ability to trust in your own decisions, your own abilities, and your own judgment, even when the path ahead is unclear. It's the understanding that you don't need permission to go after your dreams or to create the life you desire. You are the architect of your own future, and the decisions you make today will shape who you become tomorrow. Self-reliance doesn't mean isolation or rejecting help when it's needed. It means knowing that you are the one who ultimately holds the power to change your circumstances. Even when others offer advice or assistance, the strength lies in your ability to choose what serves you best, what resonates with your values, and what aligns with your vision. You can listen to others, but you never allow their opinions to overshadow your own inner knowing. It's the belief that while collaboration and support are valuable, your success is dependent on your willingness to take responsibility for your own actions. To be self-reliant means that you do not wait for the perfect moment or for someone else to make the first move. You take initiative. You push through fear and doubt, knowing that even in moments of struggle, you have the strength to keep going. The moment you decide to rely on yourself is the moment you stop giving your power away to external forces. It's in those quiet, decisive moments when you stand firm in your own ability, regardless of the challenges, that you truly understand the depth of your own power. Self-reliance allows you to face life's challenges with confidence. It gives you the ability to take risks without fear of failure because you know that any setback is merely a lesson. It's an unwavering belief that you are equipped with everything you need within you to navigate the highs and lows of life. The more you rely on yourself, the more resilient you become. You no longer look for external circumstances to change in order to feel empowered. You realize that true empowerment comes from adapting to whatever comes your way and handling it on your own terms. This inner strength also frees you from the need to seek approval from others. You no longer measure your worth by how others perceive you or what they think you should be doing. When you are self-reliant, your self-worth is anchored in the confidence you have in your own abilities and choices. You know that no one else can take that away from you. In moments of self-reliance, you find your own voice and your own truth. You stop living according to the expectations of others, and you start living in alignment with your own vision. When you trust yourself enough to rely on your own decisions, you step into a life where every action and choice you make is driven by your personal beliefs and values, not the influence of others. This is where your true power lies, when you trust yourself completely and stand strong in your own belief system. Solitude is not something to fear or avoid. In fact, it's one of the most valuable experiences you can embrace. In a world where distractions are endless and noise constantly surrounds us, solitude offers a rare and precious opportunity to reconnect with ourselves. It's in these quiet moments that we are able to hear our own thoughts, reflect on our experiences, and gain clarity about the direction we want our lives to take. When we choose solitude, we step away from the influence of the outside world and into the space where our true selves can emerge. This is where growth happens, not in the noise of others' opinions or in the busyness of our daily lives, but in the quiet space of being alone. It's in solitude that we begin to peel away the layers we've built over the years, the layers that were placed there by society, by expectations, or by the demands of others. In solitude, we face ourselves fully without distractions or judgment. We allow our own thoughts, desires, and truths to surface without fear of rejection or misunderstanding. The opportunity in solitude lies in its ability to help us understand who we truly are. Without the need to please others or conform to their standards, we are free to explore our own ideas, dreams, and values. We have the space to truly ask ourselves the tough questions. What do we want? What do we value most? What is truly important in our lives? These are the questions that often get buried beneath the noise of external pressures, but in solitude, we can hear the answers more clearly. Solitude also provides us with the time to reflect on our past and learn from it. In the rush of daily life, we rarely take a step back to assess our experiences. But when we are alone, we have the opportunity to review our journey to see where we've been, what we've learned, and how far we've come. This reflection can bring powerful insights that can guide our future decisions. It helps us to understand our strengths and weaknesses, to identify patterns in our behavior, and to see where we might have gone off course. Solitude allows us to be honest with ourselves, which is the first step toward real growth. Moreover, solitude is an opportunity for creativity. When we are alone, we are free from the constraints of others' expectations and opinions. We no longer need to conform to a mold or follow a prescribed path. In these moments of stillness, our minds are free to wander and explore new ideas, concepts, and solutions that we might never have considered in a more crowded, distracted environment. The space created by solitude is fertile ground for innovation, self-expression, and new perspectives. Solitude also offers the gift of clarity. When we are surrounded by noise, both external and internal, it can be difficult to hear our own thoughts clearly. But in the quiet, we can find clarity of purpose. We can gain a deeper understanding of our goals and motivations. We can strip away the confusion and make decisions that are aligned with our true desires. This clarity brings a sense of peace as we begin to understand what we need to do next and what steps we must take to create the life we want. Beyond personal growth, solitude also strengthens our ability to be comfortable with ourselves. In a society that often encourages constant socializing and engagement, being alone can feel uncomfortable, even unnatural. However, when we embrace solitude, we learn to enjoy our own company. We realize that we don't need anyone else to feel complete. We become our own best friend, our own greatest source of support. This builds a deep sense of self-worth and confidence. We learn that we are enough just as we are. We begin to cherish our own presence and trust ourselves in a way that others may never be able to. Solitude also allows for deep healing. In the solitude, we can confront old wounds and begin to heal from them. The peace of being alone allows us to process emotions we may have buried, to grieve what we've lost, and to forgive ourselves and others. It's in these moments of quiet that we can truly heal without distraction or interference. The solitude gives us the space to nurture our mental, emotional, and physical well-being so that we can emerge stronger and more resilient. In essence, solitude is not something to dread or avoid. It is a powerful opportunity to reconnect with yourself, to heal, to grow, to create, and to find clarity. When you embrace solitude, you open the door to a life of greater self-awareness, strength, and purpose. It is in these quiet moments that you discover the true power of your own being. Strength is not something that can be acquired from external sources. It is not dependent on what others think of you, how much you achieve in the eyes of society, or the circumstances that surround you. True strength lies within, in the deep recesses of your own heart and mind. It is a wellspring of power that exists in all of us, waiting to be accessed when we need it the most. The first step in recognizing that strength comes from within is understanding that it is not something you must look for outside of yourself. It is not found in material wealth, external approval, or fleeting moments of success. True strength comes from a place of inner resolve. A quiet but unshakable belief in your own ability to overcome whatever challenges may come your way. It is born from knowing who you are and standing firm in that knowledge, even when the world around you is unpredictable or overwhelming. Inner strength is the product of experience and perspective. It is shaped by the trials you face, the obstacles you overcome, and the lessons you learn along the way. Every setback, every failure, and every challenge you encounter is an opportunity to tap into that deep reservoir of strength within you. It's in those moments of adversity when your true character is revealed, not because you were forced into a corner, but because you choose to rise above the situation. You choose to dig deep within yourself and find the resilience to keep going, even when the odds are against you. This strength is not always loud or dramatic. It's often quiet, subtle, and persistent. It's the ability to stand tall in the face of criticism, to push forward despite fear, and to continue moving toward your goals even when the path is unclear. It is the silent voice within that tells you to keep going, to trust yourself, and to believe that you are capable of overcoming anything life throws at you. Inner strength is rooted in your beliefs and your mindset. It is a reflection of your values and your ability to hold true to them, even when external pressures try to sway you. When you have a strong sense of self and an unwavering belief in your own potential, no one else's doubts or opinions can shake your confidence. The strength that comes from within allows you to remain grounded, even when others around you are lost in their own doubts and fears. You are able to trust in your own path and know that your choices are guided by a deeper understanding of who you are and what you stand for. Moreover, this internal strength empowers you to control your own responses to life's challenges. It's not about being immune to difficulties or pretending that obstacles don't exist. It's about how you choose to react when they arise. Strength from within enables you to face hardship with grace and dignity, knowing that your response will shape the outcome. It is the ability to choose your actions with intention, rather than reacting impulsively or allowing external circumstances to dictate your emotions. When you tap into your inner strength, you realize that while you cannot always control what happens to you, you can always control how you respond. This inner power also gives you the courage to take risks and step outside of your comfort zone, allows you to break free from self-imposed limitations and embrace new challenges. The belief that strength comes from within empowers you to pursue your dreams, even when they seem impossible. It gives you the tenacity to keep going when things get tough, the resilience to bounce back when you fall, and the belief that you are capable of achieving great things, regardless of the obstacles in your path. Another key aspect of inner strength is emotional resilience. Life is filled with emotional highs and lows, and it is easy to be swept away by intense feelings of joy, sorrow, frustration, or fear. But the strength that comes from within allows you to navigate these emotions with balance and composure. It enables you to face your feelings, understand them, and respond to them in a way that supports your well-being. Inner strength helps you weather the storms of life, knowing that no matter how intense the emotion or how difficult the moment, you will rise again. This resilience is also linked to your ability to forgive and let go. Holding on to anger, resentment, or regret drains your energy and prevents you from moving forward. But inner strength gives you the wisdom to release what no longer serves you. It helps you let go of past wounds, forgive others, and make peace with your own mistakes. In doing so, you free yourself from the emotional baggage that holds you back, allowing you to move forward with greater clarity and strength. Ultimately, strength comes from within because it is rooted in your own identity and your own sense of purpose. It is built on the foundation of your values, your beliefs, and your experiences. The more you understand yourself, the more you connect with your true essence, the stronger you become. This inner strength is an unshakable foundation that no external force can dismantle. It is the power to endure, to rise, and to thrive no matter what life throws your way. When you trust in your inner strength, you unlock the limitless potential that resides within you and you become unstoppable. Being alone is often seen as something negative, something to avoid at all costs. In a world that celebrates constant connection and interaction, solitude is often viewed as loneliness, a state of emptiness or isolation. Yet being alone should never be feared. In fact, it is one of the most valuable and powerful experiences you can embrace. It is in moments of solitude that you discover your true self, where you find the clarity, peace, and strength to grow and evolve. The fear of being alone is rooted in the belief that we need others to complete us, to validate our worth, or to give our lives meaning. We are taught from an early age to seek companionship and approval from others, to fit into social groups, to gain acceptance. But this external validation is fleeting. It is always subject to change and often leaves us feeling uncertain about who we truly are. In reality, being alone allows you to step away from the noise and expectations of others, giving you the space to reconnect with your own heart and mind. When you are alone, you have the opportunity to truly listen to yourself. Without the constant chatter of social interactions or the need to please others, you can hear your own thoughts, desires, and aspirations more clearly. This is the time when you can reflect on your life, assess your goals, and realign yourself with your personal values. You may realize that many of the things you once thought were important are actually distractions from what you truly need and want. Solitude brings clarity. It clears the fog that often clouds your vision when you're surrounded by other people's opinions and expectations. Being alone is also an opportunity for self-growth. It is in solitude that we can focus entirely on ourselves without the influence of others pulling us in different directions. You can dedicate time to your passions, cultivate new skills, and explore your interests. Whether it's diving into a new hobby, reading a book that challenges your perspective, or reflecting on past experiences, being alone provides you with the freedom to nurture your personal development without compromise. Many people fear being alone because they are afraid of facing themselves. The solitude forces us to confront our inner thoughts, insecurities, and past wounds. But this is precisely where the power of being alone lies. It is in these moments of self-reflection that you can heal, forgive, and grow. When you are alone, you can fully embrace who you are, including your flaws, mistakes, and imperfections. You begin to understand that you don't need anyone else to be whole. You are enough as you are, and in solitude, you learn to truly love and accept yourself. Being alone also allows for emotional freedom. Often in social settings, we suppress our true feelings, either out of fear of judgment or because we feel compelled to conform to social norms. But when you are alone, you are free to express yourself without restraint. You can cry, laugh, vent, or simply sit in silence and process your emotions without concern for what others might think. This emotional release is crucial for your well-being as it helps to cleanse your mind and body of pent-up stress and anxiety. Furthermore, solitude fosters independence. In a world where we are constantly connected, it can be easy to rely on others for support, validation, or direction. However, being alone teaches you to rely on yourself. It strengthens your sense of self-sufficiency as you learn to solve problems, make decisions, and take action without depending on anyone else. The more time you spend alone, the more confident you become in your own abilities. You realize that you are capable of navigating the ups and downs of life on your own without needing someone else to hold your hand every step of the way. Moreover, being alone creates space for creativity. When there are no distractions, no outside influences, your mind can wander freely, unencumbered by the pressures of other people's ideas. It is in these quiet moments that your most creative ideas and solutions often emerge. You have the time and space to explore new possibilities, challenge your own thinking, and break free from old patterns. Creativity thrives in solitude because it is in these moments that we tap into our deepest reservoir of imagination and innovation. There is also a deep power in learning to be alone without feeling lonely. The distinction between being alone and being lonely is crucial. Being alone is a state of choice where you embrace solitude for the opportunities it offers for self-discovery and growth. Loneliness, on the other hand, is a feeling of disconnection or longing for external company. When you learn to be content in your own company, you no longer feel the need to fill the silence with external noise. You are comfortable with your own thoughts and emotions, and you realize that being alone does not equate to emptiness. It is a space filled with potential, with the possibility of self-improvement, creative expression, and inner peace. Ultimately, being alone is a powerful and transformative experience. It allows you to break free from external pressures, rediscover your true self, and build a life that is truly yours. Embrace the solitude, for in it lies the opportunity to cultivate strength, clarity, and a deeper understanding of who you are and what you want. When you stop fearing being alone, you unlock the freedom and power that comes from within. The freedom to choose is one of the most powerful gifts you possess. It is the essence of autonomy, the foundation of self-determination, and the catalyst for shaping your own destiny. Every moment of your life, you are faced with choices, small ones, big ones, seemingly insignificant ones, and those that have the power to transform your entire existence. The freedom to choose means that, despite the influences around you, you hold the power to decide your path, your actions, and ultimately your future. This freedom is not just about choosing between obvious alternatives like which job to take or which place to live. It goes deeper than that. The freedom to choose is about embracing the power you have to make decisions that align with your values, dreams, and purpose, even in the face of external pressures or challenges. It's about recognizing that at any given moment, you are not just reacting to life's circumstances, you are creating them through the choices you make. The power of choice begins with self-awareness. When you are clear about who you are, what you value, and what you want to achieve in life, your choices become more deliberate and purposeful. Self-awareness allows you to filter through the noise and confusion, enabling you to make decisions that truly resonate with your authentic self. Without this awareness, it's easy to let other people, external expectations, and societal norms dictate your choices. But when you take the time to understand what drives you, what fulfills you, and what aligns with your vision, every decision you make becomes an act of personal empowerment. The freedom to choose also involves the courage to break free from the status quo. Society often conditions us to follow certain paths, to live according to prescribed timelines, or to fulfill expectations that are imposed upon us. We are often taught to play it safe, to follow rules, and to seek approval. But true freedom comes when you realize that you do not have to conform to these external pressures. You are not bound by any rule other than the one you set for yourself. The freedom to choose means stepping off the beaten path and forging your own way, even when it feels uncertain or unconventional. It's the courage to say no to what doesn't serve you and to say yes to what truly aligns with your heart and soul. Choice also comes with responsibility. The freedom to choose is not without its weight. With every decision, there are consequences, and these consequences are what shape the direction of your life. This is why it's crucial to make conscious, thoughtful choices rather than reactive ones. When you take ownership of your decisions, you also take ownership of the outcomes, whether they are positive or challenging. This sense of responsibility is empowering as it allows you to feel in control of your life's trajectory. Rather than feeling like a victim of circumstance, you become the creator of your own experiences. The freedom to choose also extends to your mindset and the way you perceive the world around you. Every day, you have the power to choose how you respond to situations and events. You can choose to react with fear, frustration, or anger, or you can choose to respond with patience, understanding, and optimism. Your mindset is a reflection of the choices you make in how you view and interpret the world. When you realize that you can choose how to perceive any given situation, you reclaim power over your emotional state and your experience of reality. This shift in mindset opens up new possibilities as it empowers you to look at challenges as opportunities for growth, failure as a lesson, and setbacks as stepping stones on your journey. The freedom to choose also means having the ability to let go of what no longer serves you. Too often, people hold on to relationships, habits, and situations simply because they feel obligated or because they fear what might happen if they make a change. But when you truly embrace the freedom to choose, you recognize that you have the power to release anything that no longer aligns with your values, goals, or vision for your life. Whether it's a toxic relationship, a job that drains your energy, or habits that are holding you back, the freedom to choose means giving yourself permission to move on. It's the recognition that your happiness and well-being are worth more than holding on to something that is no longer serving your highest good. In many ways, the freedom to choose is an invitation to take ownership of your future. So many people feel like their lives are dictated by circumstances, luck, or the actions of others. They believe they are powerless, waiting for something outside of themselves to change before they can act. But the truth is, you have the power to choose in every moment. The future is not something that happens to you, it's something you create through the choices you make today. Whether you are choosing to take action on a long-held dream, to change the way you live, or to shift the way you see yourself, you are actively shaping your future with every choice you make. The freedom to choose also offers you the opportunity to live authentically. When you are able to choose based on your true desires and values rather than conforming to the expectations of others, you begin to align your actions with your authentic self. You stop living for other people's approval and instead you focus on what feels right for you. This alignment brings a sense of peace, fulfillment, and joy as you stop seeking validation outside of yourself and instead trust that the choices you make are the right ones for your life. Moreover, the freedom to choose means that you are not limited by your past or by what others think of you. It's easy to let your past experiences, mistakes, or failures define you. But when you realize that you have the power to choose in every moment, you recognize that your past does not dictate your future. Every choice is an opportunity to create a new beginning, to redefine who you are, and to step into the next version of yourself. You are not bound by old patterns or narratives. You are free to choose a new path, to choose differently, and to choose what aligns with your highest potential. Ultimately, the freedom to choose is not just about making decisions, it's about living with intention, purpose, and self-empowerment. It's about recognizing the immense power you hold in shaping your own life and realizing that your future is not determined by fate, but by the choices you make every single day. When you embrace the freedom to choose, you take control of your destiny and you create a life that is truly your own. Confidence is not something that is given to you by others, it is something that you cultivate from within. It is a byproduct of self-awareness, self-acceptance, and self-discipline. While society often pressures us to look outward for validation and assurance, the true foundation of confidence is built in the quiet moments of solitude. It is in these moments, away from the noise of the world, that you begin to understand who you are, what you are capable of, and what you truly want in life. Solitude is often misunderstood in our fast-paced, hyper-connected world. It is often associated with loneliness, isolation, or a sense of lacking something. However, true solitude is a space of reflection, growth, and connection to your inner self. When you are alone, you have the opportunity to confront your thoughts, face your fears, and challenge the narratives you have been carrying. It is in the solitude that you discover the strength to face the parts of yourself that you might have been avoiding, the parts that need healing, the parts that need understanding, and the parts that need nurturing. Confidence at its core comes from knowing and accepting yourself. When you are constantly surrounded by others, it is easy to lose sight of your own values, desires, and capabilities. You may find yourself seeking external approval, trying to measure up to other standards or adopting behaviors that are not true to your own nature. But solitude creates the space for you to reconnect with your authentic self. In the silence of your own company, you can ask yourself important questions. What do I really want? What are my strengths? Where have I been holding myself back? By facing these questions and taking the time to explore your own feelings and thoughts, you begin to build an inner confidence that is not dependent on others' opinions or societal standards. Confidence is built when you prove to yourself that you can handle challenges, make decisions, and navigate life's complexities on your own. Solitude provides the perfect environment for this personal growth. When you are alone, you have the chance to experiment with new ideas, face difficult situations, and take risks without the fear of judgment from others. You are free to make mistakes, learn from them, and grow in the process. Each time you overcome a challenge on your own, you prove to yourself that you are capable and resilient. This builds a sense of inner strength and belief in your ability to face whatever comes your way. When you take the time to spend time alone, you also begin to develop discipline. Confidence is not just about believing in your ability to achieve, it's about developing the persistence to follow through with your goals and intentions, regardless of distractions or obstacles. Solitude allows you to create routines, focus on your passions, and build habits that support your personal growth. Whether it's dedicating time to learning a new skill, working toward a fitness goal, or simply reflecting on your aspirations, being alone gives you the opportunity to invest in yourself without external pressures or distractions. As you begin to see the fruits of your labor, your confidence grows because you know that your progress is the result of your own hard work and commitment. Solitude also teaches you to become comfortable with yourself. In a world where we are constantly surrounded by others, it can be difficult to sit with our own thoughts and feelings. We often distract ourselves with noise, technology, or the need for constant social interaction. But true confidence is born from being comfortable with your own company. When you are alone, you have the opportunity to embrace who you are without the need to conform to others' expectations. You can be authentic, unapologetic, and fully present with yourself. Over time, this self-acceptance translates into greater confidence because you no longer feel the need to seek validation from outside sources. You are enough just as you are. Moreover, confidence in solitude is rooted in your ability to trust yourself. It's about knowing that you can handle whatever life throws at you even when you are alone. The more you spend time alone and learn to navigate your own thoughts and emotions, the more you build this trust. You become aware of your strengths, but you also become aware of your weaknesses. You understand that there is no need for perfection, there is only progress. Each time you make a decision, whether it's a small one or a major life choice, and you take action without second-guessing yourself, you reinforce your ability to trust in your judgment. This self-trust is the bedrock of confidence because when you trust yourself, you are willing to take bold steps, make mistakes, and keep moving forward, knowing that you have the inner resources to adapt and grow. Solitude also allows you to tap into your creativity and intuition. When you are alone, you remove the distractions that often cloud your mind, and you create space for your innermost thoughts and ideas to emerge. This is where true innovation and self-expression begin. Confidence thrives when you are able to access your creative flow and trust your instincts. It's in solitude that you can explore your passions, experiment with new ideas, and allow yourself to be vulnerable without fear of judgment. The more you honor your creative impulses, the more you affirm your belief in your own abilities, and this strengthens your confidence in every aspect of your life. In the quiet of solitude, you also learn resilience. Life is not always easy, and challenges will inevitably arise, but solitude allows you to cultivate the mental and emotional resilience needed to face adversity with courage. When you are alone, you have the space to process difficult emotions, heal from past wounds, and come to terms with life's hardships. Through this process of self-reflection, you learn that setbacks are not failures, they are opportunities to grow stronger. Each time you rise after a setback, you prove to yourself that you are capable of bouncing back, and this resilience becomes a cornerstone of your confidence. Finally, solitude provides the clarity needed to make decisions that align with your true self. Often, in the hustle and bustle of life, we make decisions based on the influence of others or the noise of external circumstances. But when you are alone, you can hear your inner voice more clearly. You can tune into your instincts and make decisions from a place of calm and understanding rather than reacting out of fear, pressure, or confusion. As you consistently make decisions that align with your values and goals, your confidence grows because you know you are in control of your life's direction. Confidence is not built overnight. It is a gradual process that unfolds over time, especially in moments of solitude. It is in the quiet spaces of your life where you learn to trust yourself, cultivate your strengths, and become comfortable in your own skin. The more time you spend alone and use that time to grow, the more you reinforce your belief in your own abilities. and the more confident you become in every area of your life. Loneliness is often perceived as a physical condition, something that arises when we are physically isolated from others. It is commonly thought of as an experience that emerges when there is no one around us to connect with, no friends to share our thoughts with, and no family to offer comfort. However, loneliness at its core is not a condition dictated solely by physical proximity to others. It is a state of mind, a way of thinking, and an emotional response to our own perceptions and beliefs. It is a feeling that arises not from the absence of people, but from how we interpret our own worth, our connection to the world, and our relationship with ourselves. At the heart of loneliness lies a deep sense of disconnection, not from others necessarily, but from ourselves. When we feel lonely, we often perceive ourselves as lacking something essential. We feel empty, as though there is a void that cannot be filled by external means. The truth is, loneliness is a reflection of the way we view ourselves and our place in the world. It stems from the belief that we are not enough on our own, that our happiness, validation, and fulfillment must come from others. This mindset can distort our reality and create a sense of emotional isolation, even in the presence of others. In many ways, loneliness is a product of comparison. In today's world, we are bombarded by images of people surrounded by friends, family, and social activity. Social media, in particular, can exacerbate feelings of loneliness by presenting an idealized version of others' lives. When we compare our own lives to these curated snapshots, we can begin to feel as though we are missing something. We see other people experiencing joy, laughter, and connection, and we internalize the idea that we are somehow less because we don't have the same experiences. This comparison creates a false narrative, leading us to believe that our worth is determined by how connected we are to others or how much social approval we receive. Yet, loneliness has little to do with how many people are physically around us. It is not the absence of others that causes the feeling of isolation, but the absence of meaningful connection within ourselves. We often think that the cure for loneliness is to be surrounded by others, to fill our lives with activity and social interactions. But the real antidote to loneliness lies in self-connection. The more we turn inward, the more we realize that the relationship we have with ourselves is the most important one. When we are at peace with ourselves, when we understand our own needs, desires, and values, we begin to feel a sense of contentment and fulfillment that does not rely on external validation. Another key aspect of loneliness is the belief that we need to be constantly surrounded by people in order to feel validated or loved. We often find ourselves seeking external sources of companionship in an attempt to fill the void inside. However, when we place our happiness and self-worth in the hands of others, we are setting ourselves up for disappointment. People come and go, relationships evolve, and external circumstances change, but our inner sense of contentment must come from within. The belief that we need others to complete us is a fallacy. We are already whole, and once we realize this, the feeling of loneliness begins to dissolve. Loneliness can also stem from a fear of vulnerability. Many of us fear that if we allow ourselves to be truly known by others, we will be rejected, judged, or misunderstood. As a result, we keep parts of ourselves hidden, even from those who care about us. This self-imposed isolation fosters loneliness because we are not fully sharing ourselves with others. True connection requires vulnerability, the willingness to show up as our authentic selves without fear of judgment. When we open ourselves to others and allow ourselves to be vulnerable, we break down the barriers that keep us isolated. This vulnerability not only fosters deeper connections with others, but also strengthens our relationship with ourselves as we learn to accept and love ourselves, imperfections and all. The power of perspective is another key factor in understanding that loneliness is a state of mind. It is easy to view loneliness as a negative experience, something to be avoided at all costs. However, when we shift our perspective, we can see that solitude offers valuable opportunities for personal growth. Being alone allows us to reconnect with our inner selves, to reflect on our lives, our desires, and our purpose. It is in solitude that we often do our deepest thinking and our most important work. When we begin to view loneliness not as a curse, but as an opportunity for introspection and self-discovery, it loses its power to make us feel disconnected. We start to realize that our value does not depend on constant interaction with others, but on the relationship we cultivate with ourselves. In fact, loneliness can be an important catalyst for transformation. When we feel lonely, it often signals that something within us is out of alignment. It is a sign that we need to reconnect with our true selves, reevaluate our values, or redefine our purpose. Rather than trying to escape loneliness by seeking external distractions, we can use it as a guide to deeper self-awareness. Loneliness calls us to examine our lives, our desires, and our patterns of behavior. It invites us to look within and ask ourselves important questions about our true needs and what will bring us fulfillment. By embracing loneliness as a time for growth and introspection, we can transform it from a painful experience into a powerful tool for personal development. Ultimately, loneliness is not a permanent state. It is a transient feeling that arises when we allow ourselves to believe that we are disconnected from others or from ourselves. It is not the presence or absence of people in our lives that determines our sense of connection, but our own mindset and beliefs. When we learn to love and accept ourselves, when we find peace within, the feeling of loneliness begins to fade. Connection comes not from external sources, but from the understanding that we are never truly alone. We carry our own company with us wherever we go. And in that realization, loneliness ceases to be a burden and becomes an invitation to find strength, growth, and fulfillment from within.